You can also have
Oh,
someone
there we go.
being recorded
Now it's working.
for you.
Says this meeting is being live streamed.
You can also have someone being recorded
Now it's working.
for you.
Okay, so
Says this
now,
meeting is being live streamed.
so if I do that, oh no. Okay. I think this is the right one, right? Can you all see? What do you all see? Hello?
Currently only see the presentation.
Okay, good. So I think that's right. Okay, you all. Now, okay. You all can start. I'm going to mute myself. You,
Are we all ready?
Yeah. Are we ready?
Yeah,
I'm
we're
ready.
good.
Okay. Hello, I'm Jeremiah Vignon. These are my group mates.
Cesar Bonilla.
Eva Galvan.
Jahaira.
Naomi.
cameras on, please, y'all.
And as we present our campaign on farmer market unions, we want to bring your attention to the UFW Foundation. They have been a constant force in labor advocacy for decades, and we use their foundation as a roadmap to propagate our own resources and to ultimately trace the lineage of unionizing back to its original. To understand the United Farm Workers, we have to understand what they were up against. And so for generations, farm workers' calls for fair wages were met with either silence or violence. That changed in 1962 when Cesar Chavez, Dolores Huerta, and Gilbert Padilla founded the National Farm Workers Association. Said association later joined forces with other Filipino activists, one notable being Larry Litlong, and they formed together for the historic Delano Grape Strike. And in the spring of 1966, they took their messages to the street, marching hundreds of miles from the San Juan Valley to the state capitol. Said results of that movement are still felt today. In the 1960s, laborers toiled for about $1.20 an hour, roughly $10 extrapolated to today's economy. But because of these workers and the movement being pushed, they earn now between 17 to 25 an hour during peak season, with the bonus of access to health benefits and overtime pay. Politically as well, the UFW has helped shape California's overall population. In the 1970s, the Latino population was less than 14%. Because of movements and more safer spaces, it has shot up to today being about 40%. However, the UFW faces a difficult present. Memberships has thinned from its peak of about 150 contracts down to about 30 today, with only about 5,000 active members seen today, give or take. There's a couple reasons for this. You have an aging workforce, a shift in the union's focus from field organizing to more political advocacy, but the most critical today has to be the farm worker shortages, further exacerbated by the constant threat of the immigration raids opposed by the Trump administration. The UFW has changed the face of American labor, but as we look at these numbers, it's clear that the movement is now at a crossroads, navigating a world very different from the one Chavez and Huerta first set out to change, that the newer generation has to take over.
So on this slide, I focus on the struggle of farm workers in the fight for labor justice in California. So one thing that stood out to me from the 30 years of farm worker struggle was how farm workers were excluded from many labor protections. Even though their work was essential, this created long-term inequality in wages, working conditions, and legal rights. So the reading also discusses the Becerro program, which brought in low-paid Mexican guest workers after World War II. While this addressed labor shortages, it also made exploitation worse and kept wages low for many workers. And what I found most powerful is that the change didn't happen quickly. It took years of organizing boycotts, marches, and community support, representing resistance and collective action for justice in the fields, and showing how system of power affect workers, especially communities of color, and how activism became necessary for change. So going in now with the impact of stories, I added a video of Adela, a 43-year-old farm worker who has spent nearly 20 years in crops like grapes, oranges, almonds, and peaches, faces serious health and safety risk. Despite overcoming major personal and medical challenges, including heart surgery and ongoing health issues, she still works in the fields where pesticide exposure can cause nausea and headaches. Her experience highlights how workers are often not provided proper protection and must rely on makeshift solutions like clothes, coverings, even in extreme heat, as described by the UFW Foundation. Now, going in with the second impact of story, this is Elizabeth, a 44-year-old farm worker from California and a mother of two who has worked in the fields over 20 years, often alongside her husband. After her husband became seriously ill with the valley fever and was hospitalized, she became the sole provider for her family. During California's storm season, she has faced flooding in the fields and that has cost her work and income, showing how climate conditions and health crises deeply affect farm workers' families, as highlighted by the UFW Foundation.
Moving from history to modern data from the literature review, we looked at how unionization actually functions from the individual farmer today. Agriculture remains vital, but it's becoming more volatile between climate change and fluctuating prices. Small family enterprises are incredibly vulnerable. Our research shows that unions aren't just for workers, they are a lifeline for small businesses. Interesting, the text goes into detail about a motivation gap in the data. On one hand, we've seen that the farm worker with stable incomes are more likely to join to protect their interests. On the other hand, those facing financial hardships or health issues turn to unions as a last resort for survival. Despite how important data gathering is, there is a surprising lack of formal research in this aspect. By focusing on the UFW Foundation, we are bridging that gap, showing that whether it's for financial growth or emergency protection, collective action remains the most viable option for the modern family farm.
Our primary objective is to launch a campaign in which students can learn and get connected with local farmer market unions and to understand the labor behind their food, highlighting collective action that they could do, improving what that could improve wages, safety, and food sustainability for of the workers. And in order to connect further with them, we invite local union leaders and representatives from regional farm unions or worker justice coalitions to speak towards these student groups.
Our plan of action is to rent out a room from the student union building and present a documentary on the United Farm Workers. The documentary we want to show is The Fight in the Fields 1997. Our goal is to bring awareness to the unions like the UFW and how they came to be. We want to inspire others to join unions or to create them in their own companies. After the movie, we will present a Google form asking our audience to give feedback on their experience with us and their experience with the movie.
The expected outcome is there more awareness towards farmer market unions, to the student population of the university, and how they can support these unions through that of political means or through financial means also.
In conclusion, unions play an important role in farmers markets and their surrounding communities by supporting fair working conditions, strengthening local economies, and giving workers a collective voice. Their impact has helped create more sustainable markets and stronger communities. In recent years, unions have slowly waned in terms of growth and workers, so it is more important than ever to become the windfall for our struggling communities.
Next slide. Caesar, next slide. And that is pretty much our presentation. We thank you as the audience for sitting through the entire presentation, and that is all from us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions that you need clarification on?
First of all, this is group
7. Are you able to hear me? It's group 7.
Okay, group 7. Any questions? You all have any questions? Well, I would say that that was. Go ahead.
Oh, you can finish up first. I can ask my question after if you'd like.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, with the big issue with Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huertas, are you all familiar with that issue?
Yeah.
Yes, we
Yeah,
are, sir.
it was a bit difficult because we have to credit him as a spearhead, as he did push. He was the figurehead, the face to the name of the organization. So it's kind of difficult to not to take him away from that and to focus more so on the general aspects of it. Like I understand it was a bit difficult, but still he had such an impact that we couldn't not put him there.
So,
What he did within his position of power was terrible, to say the least. And we do know it's just unfortunately discrediting him or taking away what he's done would only surely hurt the organization. We can only really judge him by his actions, and we've seen that he wasn't a good guy behind the scenes, but the figure that he had showed to the world, the hope that we wished, the best of him. That was what we wanted to ultimately present, so that the workers who feel like they've lost a pillar of identity don't have to feel like that's an overall blow to the movement.
Not to mention, our presentation is on the United Farm Workers, not on Cesar Chavez.
mhm.
We mention him maybe once, and that's about it. But yes, we do know what's going on.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, so should we be listening to R. Kelly or not? I'm just saying.
It's a tough situation to be in.
It's it's a tough situation. I think I don't know. It's a very tough situation because what do you do?
Just completely erase a figurehead from history.
Especially one that fought so hard for the community. I mean, it's hard.
No, I don't know what you do. I guess you'd have to ask the women.
Yep.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it was a great presentation. I'm glad you all presented it. Uh, but that I had that one question because there are people who like they've taken his name off schools. They've um
Renounced affiliations. Yeah, I understand.
So they've done a lot. And I think the other thing too, I think what makes this more difficult is that y'all, she's still here.
Yeah.
And she is alive and well and kicking. She is not, she may be in her 90s, but she is as sharp as you can be. So, I don't know. What do you all think?
I think it's good that the truth came out. Because you know what, like if he was to just were to stay into like in history like that as a figure and his reputation was never found out, I think it's good that it finally came out and that, you know, we can rest on that. Because imagine if we had never known, right, about this guy. So I think that's just my point of view anyway.
I think it makes a lot of sense as to why Dolores waited so long
Hmm.
to come out about it. Just because like she was so directly involved and literally basically his right hand man, and she ultimately put the movement first instead of herself, instead of her community, instead of like the other victims of Cesar's. So I think it says a lot about how much she believed in the movement and how much of an impact it would have overall. And she didn't want to have herself or what he did be the driver that was going to basically determine how this movement was going to end up. So I think it makes a lot of sense.
But don't,
My heart
aren't
goes
women
out to her.
always asked to do that? Isn't that common
It's super common.
to put everything in front of them?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
incredibly common. I
yeah.
know people in my own community that have done similar things to put other things at the forefront because I
Mhm.
think it has more of an impact.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that's problematic is that um it's just kind of expected that women would do this. I mean, I'm sure there are people who are upset with her.
I'm sure there are people that don't even believe her,
Right, right,
especially because she waited so long to talk about it.
right.
That's kind of our community, though.
Yeah,
Like
Hmm.
they do put this stuff to the side, and it happens more than people think.
absolutely.
I'm grateful that I hadn't had something like that happen, but I know of other people that it's happened in their families, and trust me, I see those family members, and I got to keep myself in check to
Yeah,
not
because the
jump
side
the
eye
gate.
is real.
You know, it's unfortunately just something that happens in our community that is so easily swept underneath the rug. And the community was built off of not modesty, I guess modesty in a way, because that's what it's like in Mexico a little bit, you know. So it's like it's always to blame us first or that we're
And,
not telling the truth.
I
It's
mean,
and
there's
any
also like the level of stigma that surrounds it,
right.
like both within our own independent communities and within the broader sense of society.
Mhm.
So
And
yeah,
you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. And just in general, any kind of allegation like this is just problematic, and families want to stay away from them if they can. And so
Mhm.
that's one of the other things too, is that they just don't want to deal with it. They don't want to. Um, so anyway, thanks you all for a great presentation. Who
Did you
was
still have that question you wanted to ask?
that was the question.
oh, I
Oh,
was
Oh,
that
oh,
gonna
I'm sorry.
ask, like if you guys were planning to get involved in our own farmers market and like get them unionized, but I don't know how that would work, just because I know we have a small farmers market on campus, that happens on Tuesdays, I believe, from like 10 to like 3 p.m. I'm only asking because my group almost did a very similar project, and we were thinking about creating more accessibility for people on campus.
Yeah, honestly, that would be great. That'd be great to go ask them, you know, if they have a union already, if we want to work on unionizing, that'd be great. I know definitely like that's something that I believe we've done at my college back at SF State. We have unionized with our farmers markets, and it's like really not much has changed other than just, we got your back, showing them we have their back and that we are here to support them. But yeah, that's definitely something we can work towards and start to aim towards.
Well, thank you all so much. Group number 6, since we're going that way. Group number 6.
Professor, can you remove the
Oh,
for me from being co-host so they can
how
share?
do I do that? Yeah, I would. Let me see. I can figure out. There's some kind of button that I'm supposed. Okay, where are you? Okay, say something real quick. Uh-oh. Oh,
Man,
where? Yeah, Jeremiah, where are you? Do you all see him?
I think got disconnected.
Okay. So, okay, group number 6. Who's group number 6? Okay, group number 5.
Jeremiah said he had to go, unfortunately,
Okay.
but
Okay.
got him.
Uh, hello. Group
Yes.
number 5 would be us actually. This is Jacob.
Mhm.
This is for club accessibility. So, do you have to give me co-host for the presentation?
Hello.
Is that how it works?
Yes, this is group number 5.
Sorry, no, I'm group 6. I was wondering if we could go. I thought it's because on my slide,
Oh,
someone put group 5, so I got confused.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So group number 6.
yeah.
And what's your presentation title?
Stand up, speak out.
Okay. And who's in your group? Everybody that's in the group, cameras on, please. Um, I know that there should be a way, host, tools for share.
You should be able to just have yourself be the host, and other people should still be able to share.
I know I think it says host tools for share. Let's see what that says. Oh, okay. All participants. So now it should be, think, who can share when someone else is sharing? Oh. Okay, you all should be able to share now.
Okay, so I'm not too sure where any of my other members are, so I guess I'll just present it.
Who are your members?
Um,
Tell them they need to get on, because if not,
because we have a text thread and they know, but I guess none of them are.
I'm here.
Yeah, but none of them.
they probably forgot it was at 7 o'clock and not 8. So we'll wait towards the end to see if you can connect with your group members. Um,
Okay.
okay, because I would hate to have to give them zeros.
All right.
Okay. Um, so group number 5.
hello.
Yes.
Yes, we're group number 5. Do I have co-host right now to screen share?
You can just show, yeah, you should be able to show your screen. Is your group here?
I think most of them are here actually.
Okay.
Uh, so I'm just gonna get started. Let me get this up.
This way.
Uh, all right. Can you see my? Yeah, you can see it, I think. You can still see it, right?
Yes.
Okay, so good morning. Today we'll be speaking about club accessibility. Not just at Cal State LA here, but just in general to kind of back our stance on club accessibility, and especially its importance at like community colleges like ours, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm Jacob, and this is my group right here, and essentially our mission is just to better communicate on-campus clubs to the heavily commuted population of
Jacob, got to
our
have your cameras
university.
on. You guys
Uh,
have to have your cameras on. Sorry.
hold on, let me pull up on my phone real quick then.
Oh, you got to do a bunch of stuff. Go ahead.
Okay, okay. And we're group five. All right, so we got our thesis sources and like our conclusion. We got some very decent sources to back up our like our stances. And also kind of how uh we want to like convey the message and like uh our application of what we want to do.
Okay.
Our thesis is that the true probability of university comes not only with academic success, but networking. Networking is achieved through classes, but especially through clubs. If we are to achieve a greater milestone in student success, we must focus on the inclusions and engagement of our students.
Thank you, Julio. Um, Once again, Alfonso.
What
I
else?
think my slide, do you see my slide under that one or no?
Uh,
I think it's the solution one.
okay. Okay, go ahead.
There you go. Our solution focuses on making clubs more accessible for commuter students instead of expecting commuters to adjust to a system that already excludes them. This could mean just increasing outreach specifically towards commuter students, making clubs more accessible and flexible, create commuter-friendly events and meeting times, and then just building a stronger sense of inclusion on campus. In terms of better communication, a lot of students simply miss information because they leave campus straight after class. So online communication would be the best way to fix this. Using Instagram/email to reach out socially, using QR codes around campus to give more information about clubs would give quick access to commuters. And then just also improving visibility of events and meetings, because most of the time meetings are just hidden away and you don't really see them on campus.
Thank you.
So for contact with other organizations, this can apply to any university in general. But at Cal State LA, we have the ASI, which is the Associated Students Incorporated, and it's the official nonprofit student-run government at CSULA, and they basically serve as the voice for a student body. You can try to contact, they have their roster of members on their website. For our purposes, the point of contact was Jeffrey Umana Munoz, and he's the vice president for university affairs. And essentially, we just wanted to talk about the large commuter population. I myself am a commuter, and usually people don't really engage with the school outside of their own cohorts, their majors, or friend groups. And so we'd wanted to explore interdisciplinary networking, whether that's events that the ASI can host, or maybe just general events like where the walkway, where the farmers market usually is. Just things to improve student morale and communication so that we can network more.
Thank you for that. Okay, so all right. That looks a little weird. All right, that's better. Okay, so just to speak more on our sources, right? I wanted to use like a large database that used and essentially how I found it was The Indiana NSSE, they surveyed many hundreds of colleges across North America. And so essentially this provides just like good practices like across these colleges and makes an analysis based off of like the surveys that they take from students. And these practices are like uh consistently like correlated with like just like higher level learning, right? Like what adaptations do colleges make that result in a higher learning? Secondly, was more or less of a data set, but more of like a analysis, like an article, like Professor Thomas suggested in the document. And specifically, this article was more of like a research paper. It provided uh like the direct effect of like um of how clubs affect like student like uh involvement and how it affects directly like student academic success, and also another important aspect, how common it is. And so we'll see in a second here that well, it's not really clubs aren't emphasized as much as they should be essentially, and this actually further like emphasizes the importance of like our mission here, right? So
In conclusion, the NSSE data showcase the lack of club engagement, as you can see in the chart right next to it. Scholar works showcasing that engagement varies independently and not categorically. The takeaway is that student engagement is undervalued whilst being a core aspect of the college experience. Universities should actively implement their own means to supplement better engagement in their communities so that their students can prosper.
and so essentially that's our takeaway from the data um and the article about how we can better help our fellow students at CSU LA, and
Oh,
appreciate y'all.
so give me an
Yes.
example of something that that you could do.
Right. So Alfonso kind of dipped in this earlier, but obviously there's a lot of ways we can do this, right? Um and specifically like, or even as Lillian suggested, like how we contact the student body, the student body. We just need to emphasize like or certain like practices like in person, like on campus while the students are briefly there to like showcase these clubs, right? Like that's the only way you can really just uh show the importance of the clubs on the campus and like kind of like make an advertisement for them, right? Because I mean these people are coming in and out of the college and they stay maybe a couple hours, and so you only have a small window. And so dialing in on that window and getting together with the student body, like Leon suggested, and also just like being more proactive is how a college can uh further emphasize just the clubs on their own campus, right? So that's that was like our mission and that like our campaign method. There's many ways that we could go about it, like Alfonso suggested, like QR codes, like more subtle things, right? But that doesn't always work, right? Because like people are very just busy and they're very, focused on what they need to do and get out, right? So it's just about creating more of like a conveying like the message of clubs just better and more frequently, and that can only be done by the college in like like in a systematic way. So
So what you're saying, sis, and Alfonso, since you worked on this part, um, so basically what you're saying is that the university should come up with a way to showcase, like for example, um, everybody has to take that sexual assault training, right?
right.
Do you all have to take it too?
Yeah, that was like my first semester. I had to take it. Correct.
Okay, right. So why couldn't there be something like that for clubs?
I have a couple reasons why that might not be the case. because they can't really make something like clubs like a requirement, I suppose. But I guess, well, I guess if you kind of
No,
make it an
an orientation about clubs. I think you can make whatever you want a
that's
requirement.
That's true. That's true because actually it's interesting that you really brought that up. And I think it's actually the most efficient way because particularly in other countries, there's wow, this would have been great for the presentation, but there's actually instances where they need to like to partake in a club or a certain like sometimes they call it scholarships like on their end. It's the vocabulary is different, but in order to graduate, so then you have to like kind of get engaged, right? Not just go to class and sit for lecture. So I think honestly, like just a systemic like change in our, I mean, this just shows one of like the um the weaknesses of like the American college system, right? So I think it's just like really reconstructing that and like you said, just orientation or something like where it's required, right? Or it's part of the curriculum or something like that, part of like uh your bachelor's, I think that's probably the most effective way, right? To get
Right.
people involved.
Like, and we'll move on with that, but I think that would be a great kind of adaptation. Because I know that um at Fisk where I did my undergrad, they had what was it called? Was it freshman orientation? I can't remember what it was called, but it was a mandatory orientation and it lasted over the semester. I don't know how many, um, but it was like a class, and you went into that class, um, and they taught you about the clubs, but more importantly, they taught you what it means to be a Fisk student. So it's kind
Right.
of like,
Identity. There was like
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And so, and what you will find is that most HBCUs will have something like that. Um, and the thing with that orientation was you didn't get any credit for it. You didn't get a grade for it, but it was a class, but you didn't get a grade for it. But
But
if
it
you
was
didn't,
required though.
but it was required, and if you didn't take it, you didn't graduate.
Right.
So,
Which is the most efficient way to get people
right.
to like, get involved, right? So
Which and there was also a community service component. So you had to actually um, have so many hours of community service. So there are ways to do that. There are ways to do that.
right. I mean, even in my senior design class for my last two semesters, we had to get involved. Like, I mean, that's particularly for my major, but I mean, they could apply that across the board for every major and for every student on campus if they really wanted to take interest in that. It's it's very efficient
Right.
and making it part of your curriculum is excellent. And I think that should really be the standard around here, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that's important.
Sorry,
Okay.
can I add on to this real quick? I think it's kind of proven if you make it a requirement, people will actually show up. Because like for EOP, my first year, they had it where you had to attend, I believe, a total of 5 events. And then surprisingly, at every event, there was a lot of people showed up for it, which I was surprised with even walking in. So I feel like that kind of just shows that making it somewhat of a requirement actually influences people to actually show up to these events.
And it also it also makes it more valuable. It gives the indication that it's important. Okay, did number six, is number six of your group members here? Group six.
Some of them are, yes.
Okay, so who's not here?
I'm not too sure just because they haven't been contacting through most of the time, but I know that there's Leslie, um, I don't know if it's
Itasia.
Arpesia, and I'm not sure if Vanessa's here.
Okay, so who are the folks that aren't here?
Let me see. Just because they haven't contacted this entire time, so I don't even know their name.
Okay, so you don't know their names?
No.
Okay, give me the group members who are here.
Leslie, Itasia,
Yep.
and I think that's it. I'm not sure where Vanessa's here.
Okay, so Vanessa is here?
I'm not sure. It says she is, but I don't know if she's like able to talk or not.
I do see Vanessa.
Yes.
So Vanessa, where are you?
Um,
So, so are you ready? Okay.
I'll just share.
Oh, okay. So these are the people who have shown up, right?
Yes.
So Leslie's not on there.
I'm here.
I know, but you're not on the slides.
Oh,
I don't see your name.
I'm able to see it.
Huh?
I do have access to the slides.
You said you don't?
I do.
Okay, no, I'm just saying I'm looking at 3 names instead of, it should be 4 names.
no, sorry. Vanessa was the one that did that, so I'll probably just fix it afterwards.
Okay, okay.
All right, so our campaign was about, it's called Stand Up, Speak Out, and let me see. Sorry. So we're basically going over data stats and how CSU systems have dealt with discrimination, harassment, and we're going to explore solutions to these rising problems. So our campaign breakdown is, our first slide will be talking about discrimination, harassment on campus. The slide 2 will be the CSULA Code of Conduct. The third one will be what Title XI states. And then I'll go over our lit review and our survey and then the potential solutions. So discrimination.
Discrimination and harassment. Studies have shown that many people who have experienced discrimination and harassment try to manage their own feelings. Some de some de a degree of hesitating to speak out. Data shows that 664 reports of harassment and discrimination of race and identity. 60% of 4,530 have formal complaints. Of those complaints, 60% have actually been investigated.
Cal State LA Student Code of Conduct detailed by the Deans of Students prohibits dishonesty, threats, hazing, theft, and disruption of the university activities. It covers non-academic behavior, alcohol, drug, violation, harassment. The Code of Conduct is set as an understanding to students that harassment, threats, hazing, and discrimination is not tolerated. The Cal State University does not discriminate on the basis of sex, gender, and sexual orientation, gender identity and expression, or transgender status in its education programs or activities. The Title IX of Education Amendment of 1972 and certain other federal state laws prohibit discrimination on biases, sex, gender, sexual orientation, gender identity, and expression or transgender status in employment, as well as all education programs and activities operated by the university both on and off campus, and protects all people from regardless of their gender or gender identity.
So it would be Title IX.
Sorry, Title IX, yes. I'm
Go
a
ahead.
little bit.
No
Okay.
problem.
Title IX states no person in the United States shall, on the biases of sex, be excluded from participation and denied by the benefits of, or be subjected to the discrimination under an education program or activity receiving federal financial assistance. A study at Cal State LA, Black community, a study shows in one of the articles that I had in my lit review, showed that study shows 61 respondents had challenged with a limited number of Black people on campuses. The Black students on Cal State LA are 4.1%, with reports showing a lack of Black faculty and staff, as well as 35% of students surveyed pointed out the lack of Black faculty and less support. The author discusses that more than 2/3 of participants said anti-Black racism was a major obstacle to their academics in the form of alienation due to little representation. Some students perceived somewhat different treatment from professors. Why this is relevant? Let's look at a study done in the LA County. Discrimination around LA County has been seen to rise over time, especially for people since COVID-19 hit their communities, noticing changes in racism rising. Julian Beck had a survey done for Pat Brown Institution for Public Affairs at Cal State LA and Student Community Foundation, showing that 2/3 of Asian American and Pacific Islanders worried about becoming victims of hate crimes. The author tells us that AAPI residents who surveyed reported a quarter of 1,500 have physically or verbally been attacked during COVID-19, and 80% of them believe that Asian racism has become a problem since. The pandemic, leaving half the respondents in the survey revealing that they have experienced racial discrimination in public spaces. The problem here is there's simply not enough investment put into talking about and not reaching to our communities. Conducting a survey. So educate on both CSULA's Code of Conduct and the oversearching of Title IX protections. Provide a space for students to speak out if they have ever experienced discrimination or harassment on campus, as well as a sense of solidarity among the students' population of others who may have experienced similar things. So throughout our survey, I had implemented questions asking about whether they had known about Code of Conduct 9 and how they felt about campus experiences, or have they ever seen or dealt with discrimination or harassment themselves. So for one of the slides of how likely are you to share the campaign to others, it was like 70, 30% of people who were more than likely to share it. And then, do you think a campaign like this could lead to a positive change or on campus of awareness? And most people said yes, I think, except for one person. And the potential solutions that students had provided was support and scholarships, increases support and scholarships specifically for students of color, cultural center and representation, establish cultural centers to represent various students of colors, allowing them to feel less alone and providing spaces for different groups to merge and share experiences. Responses as also suggested implementing more culturally responsive content and education to help both students of color and others learn about their cultures and have more events that celebrate different cultures. Club and events offer more clubs and events, encouraging spaces where students of colors from different groups can interact rather than feeling confined to clubs that align only with their specific ethnic background. Dialogue and training, providing more opportunities for students to speak up through surveys and open forums, other sensitivity trainings for teachers, and invite people to share their personal stories to allow them to know that they're not the only ones who have dealt with such incidents. And then these are just our references, and that's it.
Any questions? Now, what I find to be interesting is if you look at the data today,
Yes.
and you look at trying to see if I can pull it up, but maybe I won't because I don't want to run out of time. So if you look at the data,
Mhm.
what you find very interesting is that Black folks in California are overwhelmingly victims of hate crimes, but it never gets talked about. And so the hate crimes that they're speaking about with regards to the Asian community had a lot to do with COVID and the crazy president calling it a China disease or something like that. But
Yeah.
what has been consistent, and I pulled the data up, but I won't go through it. But what has been consistent is the hate crimes against Black folks that just doesn't get talked about. It's almost 3 to 1. And it just never gets mentioned. So I just thought that that was interesting that Cal State LA would do a study, but fail to mention hate crimes against Black students on campus. So anyway, thank you so much. Anybody have any questions? So group number 4.
Yes, we're here.
Okay. Yeah,
You can give me the access. I'll try to.
yeah, you could do it. It does it automatically.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you could just do it. Yeah, I figured out how to do that.
Do you guys see it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Hello everyone. So our theme was mental health awareness in college. My name is Amy and
My
these are
name
my
is
peers.
Housen. My name is Vidal.
My name is Alexis.
And we have one more member. His name is Jose.
Okay, if you all could position your faces into the screen so I could see them, please. Thank you.
So our introduction is our goal for this campaign is to raise awareness about mental health among college students. We want to examine why many college students don't seek help on campus even when they really need it, and what are potential like barriers that are preventing them from receiving these assistance. So we will also be providing an interview that we had with the director of the counseling and psychological services. So what is missing or not working in our current research based on the literature review? So in 2020, Pillar and her colleagues used national data set to reveal that there are 50% of students who experience mental health challenges, and there are a very few portion of students that actually seek professional help. In their application of Anderson behavioral model, they have demonstrated that there is a clinical need that students are willing to use services. But when it comes to diverse groups such as Hispanic or Asian students, they are less likely to seek the assistance. It has been suggested that the approach for mental health support with these particular groups are insignificant, and there is a need for more cultural tailor outreach strategies to reach these particular group of students.
So on this slide, I'm going to explain some reasons why students who need
I,
help often don't seek it.
I can't see your face though.
Oh, is this?
No,
Sorry.
why is it just half of your
Oh, it's just auto adjusting. Or I don't know. So we can group these reasons into two categories: external obstacle and internal ones. So for the external obstacles, the first one is affordability. Some students simply can't afford therapy, or they think it's too expensive, so they don't even try to look into it. The second is not knowing where or how to get help. So students may not know that what service exists or where those services are located, which creates confusion and prevents actions. For example, students who need help will now know that Cal State LA has a service called CAPS, stands for Counseling and Psychological Service, and the fees are already included in their tuition. The third is time constraints. Students often have busy schedules and they may want very specific appointment times. They may also prefer a certain type of counselor, for example, based on gender or background, which makes scheduling even harder. Now, for the internal obstacles, which are more psychological, one major factor is that students often underestimate the issues. They may think it's not serious enough, or talking to their friends about it would be enough. So they think they don't need to seek professional help. Another factor is privacy concern. They worry about confidentiality and who might find out about them. There's also the fear of being judged, which is related to stigma. Students may worry about how others will perceive them after they seek help. And finally, there's a distrust of this system. Some students don't fully trust mental health service or believe that the help will actually work. So overall, even when help is available, a combination of practical barriers and the psychological concerns prevents students from actually seeking it.
For this slide, I'll cover some specific proposals that were backed by the findings. So the first one could be that we said colleges should hire diverse counseling staff as many students wouldn't be left out or alienated. And they could also have a much more easier time talking with someone about their issues, especially if they've had like experience, a similar experience that they're going through in college right now. The second one could be that many college students worry about expenses, obviously like course materials, tuition fees, housing, and groceries. So I believe it would be beneficial that colleges provide free or at least cheap counseling service, whether it's online or in person. The first pair could be supported from the research that Amy did, which some source back from the 2024 research led by John L. Brunner, I may have botched that part. As he and his team observed that students with access to 24-hour crisis hotlines and diverse staff allowed for a positive change in students engaging with these services. Last proposal could be that we could teach students about early symptoms or correct them on any misconceptions they probably gained from social media to help diffuse these situations much more early rather than struggling with the bigger problem that they could handle. This could be done with certain programs, workshops, or activities that students may enjoy, as everyone learns differently.
Why prioritize mental health on campus? It improves academic performance. Students who receive mental health support show higher GPAs. It increases student retention. Supported students are more likely to stay enrolled and graduate college. Closes the treatment gap. Under 50% of students face mental health challenges, and targeted outreach helps underserved group care access care. Encourages student engagement. Student-centered services increase usage, better design programs, and turn willingness into actual participation. It promotes inclusive campus culture. Culturally responsive services support diverse student populations and reduces stigma and psychological barriers to seeking help.
So this is the interview we did with the director of counseling and psychological services on campus, Osmera Reyes Osario. So when we did this interview with her, she is very aware that only 10% of our current enrollment for students use the counseling services, which she has explained to us that it has increased compared to previous years. The only main issue that she says that prevents many students from seeking mental help is the limitation access. She believes that there is a lot of stigma around mental health, despite the fact that they are promoting it a lot in social media. They realize that there is not a lot of inclusion with a lot of our students in Cal State LA. She has also mentioned that students who seek counseling services prefer a particular ethical background. So someone they prefer to have a racial background within their ethnicity, which limits a lot of resources because they may not have the particular person they want. Um, they have effective, like I've said before, they have used social media, but she believes that there could be a better outreach if they can start doing booths where students can come in and see the services. She has also claimed that a lot of students believe that the services are not free, which she claimly says that they're free, and students are well more than welcome to come in, whether it be online or in person. And yeah. Um, okay, so Jose's here, but I don't think he. All right. So in conclusion, we went over some of the solutions on how to raise mental health for college students. There is some unfortunate strategies that students face, which is affordability and specific times to seek these mental health services. The overall is that campus does focus on supporting students in their mental health by providing a free service or cheap in counseling. However, there are setbacks. Students most of the time have a misconceptions about these services, which are rigged or beneficial for their own well-being. So it is kind of necessary to have students reach out for help because the campus does offer free services on campus. So yes, that is our presentation. Thank you.
Any questions? Okay, group number 3. So were everybody in your group present? Group number 4?
There is a student, I don't know her name, I think is Joanna. She
What
has
is it?
she, I don't know her name. It starts with a Y, but I tried emailing her of like including herself in the project, but she
Never responded?
yeah, she ignored me.
Okay. Okay, next. That would be group number 3.
That would be us, if I'm not mistaken.
And so just make sure that your names are on your presentations.
Where's the person?
Okay, group 3, where's your?
Oh, yeah, I'm here, but I see the other people of my
Oh.
my other group members, but
Are your other group, your group members are here?
yeah, they're here, but I
Okay, so let's
I turned on the camera.
go so if you're in his group, turn your camera on. If you're in his group. Everybody else turn theirs off. Okay, so I see So I see Adrian, Belinda, and Anderson. So you have 3 members in your group? Who's not there?
I'm not sure if Guadalupe is here. She's part of our group as well.
I'm here.
Okay, turn your cameras on. You all insist on making this difficult.
There are 2 members who appear to be part of our group on Canvas, but they never responded to my emails or
What's their
made
name?
contact. So
What's their
I
name?
I don't remember, but I can check real quickly now.
Yeah, somebody pull up your group so I can get these names right. To go to people and just keep that up, and then I'll ask you who the.
Yeah, so the 2 people that never showed up were Emily Garcia and Janine Teles.
Hold
I
on.
don't know if I'm saying that correctly.
Emily Garcia. And who else? Can you spell it?
Janine and then Tellez.
Yeah, so and this is group 3.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead. What's the title?
Oh, right. Mhm. Mm, mm. How do I share? For some reason it's giving me problems.
You just hit you should be able to share.
Yeah, it pops up, but for some reason it's giving me problems. So then content only, share.
There it
Okay,
is.
I want to make it full screen. I don't know. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, what? Oh, there we go. Okay. So, hello everyone. I am part of group 3, and our presentation is about improving mental health awareness and accessibility at CAST-LA. So, I also realized right now that group 4 had a similar presentation to ours, so that was very exciting. My name is Anderson.
My name is Belinda.
My name is Guadalupe.
My name is Adrian.
Okay, so let's get started. So we'll start with the problem. And the problem is that many college students struggle with stress, anxiety, and depression while trying to balance academics, work, and personal responsibilities. At Casa LA, which has, don't quote me on this, over 26,000 students, I try to look up at the Excel sheet, at the spreadsheet about admissions, but I wasn't able to find one. CAPS, which is the Center of Mental Health, has a limited number of licensed counselors, which makes access to mental health support more difficult because of high demand and the low amount of licensed workers, as I mentioned. And in addition, many students are still unaware of the mental health resources available on campus. So that also creates a outreach problem. And why this matters? I think this matters because mental health is important because it can directly affect a student's academic performance, emotional well-being, and daily functioning. Research shows that around 60% of students report overwhelming anxiety, while approximately 40% experience depression that impacts their ability to function normally. And even though support service exists, many students still avoid seeking help because of stigma or lack of awareness or other barriers. So now I'll pass it on to my other members. Well, where's the title? Okay, who's next to talk? That's you, Guadalupe, if I'm not mistaken.
I think if I'm not wrong, I think this is the reason why we should improve doing having to go to access mental health resources. It just increases the awareness of CAPA service. It improves accessibility to the health mental health resources, and it encourages students to seek help when needed, and it advocates for better staffing and support. Our campaign plan was to create a little short survey anonymously and like have it spread out throughout the school to be able to like have students access it and to be able to answer about 3 to 4 questions, asking them if they've ever felt like if they had anxiety or depression, and if they've ever gone to the mental health office or anything like that. The QR code was supposed to be there, I think. But it just creates a distribution of a short anonymous. It just promotes us to. It promotes campus resources and just to make. We had also reached out to some decision makers to share about, like, what the resources they have about, but they never responded back.
Guadalupe, I think you froze.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Uh, where did I exactly leave off that I cut off?
You said that the decision makers didn't get back to you.
Oh yeah, they didn't get back to us. We had actually sent them like 2 emails. One of them was Anderson, who sent them an email probably like a week ago, and then I ended up sending them one on Friday just to double check.
No problem.
Do you want me to move on to the next slide?
Yes, please. This was actually the survey that we had created. It was about a minute or two for students to be able to like just take their time to access it. It was just designed to measure about the awareness and the accessibility, and it focuses on the students' experience and barriers on the resources that they have.
And these are the results we got from the slides. We managed to get 28 resources. I'm pretty sure I shared it with multiple students, but it appears they didn't fill it out. But pretty much these responses are in regard to awareness and accessibility of mental health resources. And our results show that many students were only somewhat aware or unaware of the services the school provides. And as you can see, the most common barriers students reported were busy schedules, stigmas about seeking mental health, and lack of awareness. And most students also agreed that Cal State Lake should continue improving awareness and promotion of mental health services on campus, not just media, but like campus, like physical promotion as well. And one student also suggested that professors should talk more about CAP services in class so students become more aware of them and get familiarize themselves with the services they provide and how to access them. And down here, we were two comments by students One of them was that, as I mentioned, professors should talk more about CAP services so students know more about them. And the other comment was more awareness could help reduce stigma around mental health. So if we promote it more and more, our we just hope that students have an easier time pretty much accessing it. Now I'll pass it on to my next member.
Yeah. For claims and resources, mental health challenges among college students continue to increase, but there are barriers such as stigma, lack of awareness, and limited accessibility can prevent students from seeking support services like CAPS. Both sources support the need for improved awareness and accessibility.
Now I wanted to mention, oh, wait, go back to the other slide. Okay, thank you. I wanted to mention who we identified as key decision makers in improving mental health resources on campus. The primary groups we focused on were the CAPS director and health center leadership, since they directly oversee mental health services, as well as the university administration and student services who influence fundings, policies, and overall student support systems. We did reach out to the CAPS director to share our findings and hopefully start a conversation. While we still haven't received a response yet, we still believe it's important to make these efforts to continue advocating for change. After gathering our findings, our goal is to present this information to decision makers and encourage action. Ultimately, we want to advocate for improved access to mental health resources and making services more visible, easier to use, and better align with what students actually need. The next slide. To wrap up everything, our research highlights a few key takeaways. First, mental health is clearly a major issue among college students. It's not something that's just affecting a small group, but a large portion of the student population. Second, our students are open to seeking help. Many face barriers that prevent them from actually accessing services. These barriers could include long wait times, lack of awareness, or stigma. We also found that awareness and accessibility of CAP services needs significant improvement. Many students either don't know what's available or don't know how to access it. And finally, there is a strong and clear demand for students for better awareness and easier access to this service. So overall, this shows that the need is there, and with the right change, universities have a real opportunity to better support student mental health.
And that is our presentation. Thank you very much.
Forgot I was muted. So we have group number 2 and then group number 1. So first of all, group number 2, who did not show up?
Hi, Professor.
Hello.
People that didn't show up was Jimmy and Jonathan. I haven't heard from them ever since. But Jimmy has been doing slides in our presentation.
So Jimmy, what's Jimmy's last name?
Jimmy Lee.
I'm right here. You guys
Oh,
can
you're
hear me?
here?
Oh,
Yeah.
he's here. Okay.
Okay, so
Well, the only
Jimmy,
person that's not there is Jonathan.
and what's Jonathan's last name?
Um, let me see.
Brionez. Oh, sorry.
Who was that?
It's Jonathan Brionez, something like that. Sorry, my voice is a little messed up. I'm sick right now.
Oh no, you sound like it. So
Yes.
Jimmy,
What is
Hmm?
Brewons? Breon?
Spell it.
Briones.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jimmy Lee, am I taking you off the list of a no-show?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Okay, so group number 2. I know one of your group, if you can, cameras on, please, group number 2.
Okay.
I sent you a message
Yeah,
earlier, bro.
yeah, I saw yours. Uh-huh. Okay, let's get started. Jimmy, have I ever seen you in my whole entire life? Wait,
No, I'm not sure. Probably not.
where you come from? Anyway, we'll talk about that later. Anyway, let's go. You guys go ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna share my screen. Do you guys see the slide?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Our today title is, oh my God, I lost it. Our today title is How Students at Cal State LA Struggle with Money and Financial. Context: many students at California State University of Los Angeles struggle financially while trying to balance school, work, and personal responsibilities because Cal State LA serves many first-generation and low-income students. A lot of students worry about paying for tuition, rent, food, transportation, and books. The university even offers emergency grants, food assistance, and housing supports because financial hardship is such a common issue among students. Financial aid struggle. Some people struggle to get financial aid because they earn more than the maximum to be eligible for the aid, yet they don't have enough to actually pay out of pocket. Key examples include job loss or reduced hours, unforeseen medical emergencies, and new child care costs. Students frequently struggle with navigating complex FAFSA questions, covering indirect costs like bugs and transportation, and managing high entrance and non-federal debit. Students at Cal State LA face significant financial struggles as of 2026, driven by a 60% decline in enrollment, high inflations, and a structural budget deficit. The university, with a large, diverse students body, and it experienced a 12.4 million shortfall in the 2025-2026 fiscal year. This has a result in a 5% budget reduction affecting on the campus jobs, student services, and class offerings. These are our two resources and keys.
Key financial struggles for Cal State LA students: raising cost of living, basic needs, insecurity, declining financial aid and agency, and employment versus studies, high cost textbooks and fees.
Okay, so on this part, this one is about dorming, where some students obviously are forced to dorm because they live, far away, and it costs them more money to dorm, and dormitories are expensive, and they face financial challenges, and okay, and yeah, it's tuition is like, FAFSA could cover that, and usually dorming isn't covered by FAFSA, so it's either from out of pocket or just mostly their financial aid uses most of them. So people have to use, take out loans and or, they have to work jobs or, rely on their parents to pay out of pocket because financial aid doesn't always cover it. And it could be rough for them, because they don't really have a lot of money to use out of pocket. So they may have to work more jobs as well as you take classes just to afford the dorming. And if you're doing both, like working and taking classes, your stress and anxiety can increase. Okay, and this one also kind of ties in with the last one. So instead of people dorming because they can't afford it, people would have to commute. And when you're commuting, you obviously save money, but when you're commuting also takes a long time. It will take probably 1 or 2 hours. And then you also have to watch out for the gas prices. And if you keep doing it every day and the parking, there's like really limited parking in the obviously on the campus. And then you also, I'm pretty sure you have to pay for parking as well. And sometimes, public transportation like buses and trains or stuff is a lot of people could be on it and it might take a while. And then this causes students to either like be late to class or just be tired. And then you also, some students like last slide I was talking about, they have to balance going to work and doing classes. And it says sometimes the work schedule can conflict with your classes. Obviously, you're going to be more tired because you're doing both, so fatigue, and it could reduce your academic performance. You get less time for studying and sleep and then doing other stuff on the campus. And some students, they prioritize their job over doing their classes, so, they could get more money.
I'll do this one. This one is employment versus studies, right? Okay. Uh, sorry. Uh, why students work? They pay for rent, dorming, and commuting as well, right? Wait, Jimmy, didn't you just do this one?
No,
Yeah,
he
one.
Okay, sorry. Uh, why students work? They pay for rent, dorming, and commuting. They also have to cover food, textbook, and personal expense. personal expenses, and usually financial aid does not really cover it. So they do have to pay either out of pocket or scholarships. Sorry. Some challenges that they have is they have less time to study and less time to attend class. So you see more often that their grades will actually suffer whenever like they had to switch schedules from one thing to another. Let me get some water. Sorry. Okay. Um, it also requires a lot of physical and mental capacity. It will actually make them burn out. It'll give them exhaustion. A real impact, as I said, was that their grades lower. They start missing assignments due to either work stress or they just really can't because they just reached their limit. Uh, and because of that, it also delays their graduation due to having to make up certain things, and then there's gonna have to be paid either out of pocket as well. And increased stress and burnout due to having to manage jobs, having to manage so much other things on top of being a college student. An example is a working student around like 20 to 30 hours a week struggles to balance shifts with exams and deadlines. And it matters because balancing employment and academics can directly affect success in college. Cheap foods cause it cause of expenses, right? Uh, there's a key issue here. Many students struggle to afford consistent healthy meals. If students consistently buy food at the food court, meals can add up. Because if you go nowadays to the food court, you'll notice on how certain things cost a lot more. And since it is cheaper, like just temporarily, it will constantly be adding up over time. And that happens because the high cost of dorm meal plans, limited financial aid left over after tuition, and the low income or part-time jobs don't really pay as much as needed, or whenever they do, it won't last for so long. The real impact is when students are seeing it add up. It will start affecting them little by little, even though they don't notice it, because they'll start skipping meals or they'll be eating less. And because of that, it causes low energy and difficulty focusing in class, as well as increased stress and anxiety because your body needs some energy. And whenever you don't have or choose not to, it'll get you later on in the day. Some
I hate
examples.
I hate to because we have only 5 minutes left, and so we got to get to number one, group number one. Where are you all at in yours? That's the last slide. Okay, let's
We
let's go through
have
these really quick.
okay. Why matters nutrition directly affects academic performance and health. That's the lesson on this slide. Then we have
Okay.
the potential solutions. Many students struggle because they either arrives late or unexpected expenses appear in the middle of the semester. CAST-LA it can increase the micro grants for rent, food, textbooks, and transportation according to what certain student will need. Um, create faster same week emergency aid approval system. So if they end up needing it a certain time, it could be fast forward a little bit. They can offer short-term, no-interest bridge loans until FAFSA or Cal Grant funds arrive. I'm sorry, Melanie. Can you, or someone, either real quick, was actually kidding right now.
Okay, so I think we're gonna have to move on, y'all, because we get it. Group number one, get ready.
They need to end the
I
share
see.
so I can see the screen.
Okay.
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Cole Bascom Young, and my group will be talking about investing in families. So our project is called Big Hearts for Single Parents. Again, my name is Cole Bascom Young. We also have
Jocelyn Guzman.
Jocelyn Sanchez. Daisy Caldera.
Miles. Where are you? I think he's just
Miles Gildersleeve.
Perfect. And we will have, I think it's Jocelyn introducing our group goal.
Can you hear me?
We can.
My name is Miles Gildersleeve.
Our goal is to help out single parents who are a part of the Anna Bing Arnold Children's Center in order to make college life more manageable. As we know, school supplies today are very expensive and they are very hard to afford if you also have someone depending on you. Today, single parents are, with their extra few bucks, they're spending money on baby formula, baby clothes, baby bottles, diapers, and this all averages like around $250 to $400 every 2 months, which is a lot of money. That's why we hope to raise money to help the single parents of the Anna Bing Arnold Children's Center, and by giving them a $30 to $50 stipend to each single parent, we will achieve that goal. I will now be passing it on to Josie.
Okay, so now I will be explaining the execution of our plan. So our plan will be carried out by promoting our project through Instagram, flyers, and word of mouth to reach single parents at the Children's Center. We will collect donations through our GoFundMe and use those funds to provide $30 to $50 stipends to single parents. With support from campus staff, we will distribute these stipends efficiently to those in need. Throughout the process, we will stay organized through email communication, respond to requests, and continue improving our outreach to maximize our impact. Overall, the goal of this project is to reduce financial stress for single parents and help them continue their education with a lot more stability.
To elaborate a little more on what the Anna Bing Arnold Children's Center is, the Anna Bing Arnold Children's Center at Cal State LA is a nonprofit organization that supports students' parents by providing early childhood education and care for their children. By working with the center, we are able to better contact with single parents, to have better contact with single parents and understand their needs. Their support also helps us with outreach, including distributing flyers through social media and guiding us on how to effectively assist the families we aim to help. Now, next slide.
And so I created a GoFundMe for our group that basically is designed to help raise money and support single parents at the Children's Center. After discussing it with James Goodrich, the director of the Anna Bing Arnold Children's Center, he provided us information on the statistics of of the single parent population that they personally service. And because they're going through a transitional phase, we are extending this project out through the summer. So the goal is to essentially raise $30 to $50 for parents to specifically spend on notebooks, backpacks, and other essential materials for school, just to ease some of the burden. And although we're not aiming to fix the whole situation just because it's not realistic for our project, we are just focusing on increasing donations and helping ease some of the burden. Next is Daisy talking about our Instagram and email pages.
I've created an Instagram page to share and promote support for the single parents here in Cal State LA at the Anne Bing Arnold Children's Center. The goal is for the organization from our school to repost this information at their own pages to let other people know, and especially single parents, to get this information. And if they need help to get assistance of school supplies in order to complete an education, they can always send a DM or ask questions in the Instagram. If they don't have a social media platform, they can always reach out by Gmail. We can go to the next slide.
Okay, so expanding on the plan, from the confirmation of the meeting, upon finishing the flyers, the director of the organization will be helping us out, pass on the flyers, while the GoFundMe will be a separate thing that we handle in order to help the nonprofit organization. Single parents involved with the Child Care Center can scan the QR code on the flyer and can contact us via through Instagram for additional details. Okay, so the overview. Breaking down the steps that we took and how we managed to get here. The first step was we held an initial team meeting to plan our project and set our goals. Then we held a group meeting with the director of Ang Bing Children's Center. Then we created an Instagram page to spread awareness. Fourth, we set up an email account for communication and support. Our fifth step was we launched the GoFundMe to raise the money. Then the sixth step, we designed and started distributing flyers with the campus support.
So this is the flyer that I made for our campaign. It pretty much has our campaign name as well as a short summary and a QR code. And our main goal is, since we already got into contact with the director of the daycare, we will be sending this flyer to him via email, in which then he will send this flyer to other campaigns so more people could gain awareness and donate to our campaign.
This is the Instagram page. And as you can see, I already made a post of the flyer. And here's the Gmail. If anybody has any questions or need help in order to get school supplies, they be able to send us a message or ask or call the organization. Questions?
No, I think anybody have any questions? We're over time. Oh, 5 minutes over, so that's not bad. Okay, good job. So, anybody not participate in your group?
Everyone contributed in our group.
Everyone did? Okay, good. Well, it was my pleasure to have you all in my class. And anything you all want to say before we go?
I have a quick question regarding the submission. Is everyone going to submit the slides individually or just one person from the
No. One person is going to submit from the group, but there's a survey that you kind of have to fill out individually.
Okay.
What's the survey do?
Let me go to it and make sure that it's up. Okay. Okay, so you should see. Let me show you. Okay, you see this, week 15? This is where you will put your individual lit review paper. Got it? This will be your overall um, class presentation. So you're gonna put one here. And you're going to put your individual one. This is where your PowerPoint is gonna go. And this will be your individual lit review. So I can technically take this off. So you'll get a grade for this and a grade for this. And this we did not do.
On the project presentation, it says, please reflect on your experience with the campaign, your role, responsibilities.
Yes.
And
I'm sorry, that's your individual one.
yeah, but it's named project presentation. So if everyone individually submitted, it's going to be like 5 submissions, you know.
No. This is for you.
That's for how
Let me-
you contributed. So like
Yeah,
the part
this
on the actual group project.
Yeah, that's what this part is about what you did. Let me click on here to make sure, because okay, yeah, this is about what you did. This is what you
Okay.
did.
Yeah.
Okay. You get what I mean?
I get it. Yeah.
Okay. It's kind of weird, but I thought it was.
So just to be clear, only one person turns in the presentation for all of us, right?
Yes, but not
Okay.
this part. Everybody does this.
Okay.
There are
Which is
things that
our,
everybody does.
yeah.
So let me
Okay.
look at the lit review. The same is true for your lit review, your individual lit review. So the one that you did on your 2 articles. Y'all got it?
So the 2 articles from that
That
were
each
presented in the slide, or we
No,
did
that
individually?
each of you did.
Okay.
So you're going to turn that in here.
Professor, I think only like there's only like 3 of us, 3 or 4 of us who did the, because I didn't. I did a different part for our presentation. Like I was doing the plan of action and conclusion. So I don't have an individual little piece.
I was also gonna say the same.
Yeah, I also don't have an individual lit review.
I worked on my team by myself.
So
I also don't have one.
I don't have one just because there was nothing to research from my end. My slides didn't need no research.
Yeah, I've noticed that you all only did 2 articles, so maybe I wasn't clear, because you're supposed to do 2 yourself, each person. You're supposed
Okay.
to identify 2 articles. But some of you had data sets. I think a couple of you had data sets. Okay, so we'll figure it out. I have the grades for your presentation, so just make
Well,
sure that you do just make sure that you do the individual the execution part.
is there an is are we submitting our slide presentation as well?
Yes, you can submit it. You see where it says lit review in PowerPoint?
Yes.
So this would be where you would submit your slide presentation. So since you all did not do the individual lit review, so this is where you're going to put your information. This is where you're going to put your PowerPoint.
So are we not
Yes.
submitting a lit review then, like an individual one?
Yes, you'll only have one. I have to figure out how that works.
Yeah, because my team, we only have two sources, which is just one literature review. We don't have all of us individuals.
Okay, okay. Well, we'll figure it out. It'll be fine. So I just want to make sure that so what about group 6 and 7? Who didn't show up for your group?
Um, let me pull up for 7. There was one person who just never showed up for us.
Okay.
I don't know what their name is, mostly because we haven't. I don't know if that person's even ever come to class, to be honest with you, Professor.
Probably not. Probably not. They may have dropped.
Yeah, so let me check really quick.
Okay. And then group 6, if you can check too. And group
Yeah.
5, if you can check.
Group 5 is all good. Yeah. We're all
Okay.
good. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
The person for group 5 that never showed up was Lauren.
Well, no, I'm group 5, so I think you're referring
Oh,
to
sorry,
group
not
6.
5,
Yeah.
7. My bad.
No problem.
I'm half asleep right now. Yeah, the person who didn't show up for group 7 is Lauren.
Okay.
And then for group 6, I believe it was Victoria and Natalie.
And Natalie?
Natalie Guerrero,
Spell that for me, please.
Guerrero.
Okay. And what's Victoria's last name?
Avila, Avila.
And so that's group 6.
Yes.
Okay. All right then. Well, thank you all so much for contributing to this class. I've enjoyed you. And I think it's time for you guys to go now. I think we're over time. Anything you all want to say before we leave?
So that final that was
Just
due on
thank you.
Sunday isn't required? Sorry about that.
The final that was due on Sunday?
There was some due date for a final, but I thought we had already taken the final.
No, that's something different.
Okay.
Did you take the final?
I didn't take it because we had already took the other one that you emphasized.
Right. Oh, I did get those tests back.
Okay.
Yeah, I did get them back. Yeah. Okay. Anything else before we go?
Just
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Yes, thank you all. I won't, if you're not, hopefully I'll see you on campus. If so, say hello.
Bye,
Wait,
everyone.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
When are you gonna like finalize the grades? Because mine still shows it like at a low percentage. I just wanted confirmation on when the grades would be final for this class.
The grades are going to be final. When is the last day? I forgot when the last day to turn them in.
I believe they're due on the 20th.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
I'll try to get them in earlier than that. But Miles, your grade is showing very incorrect.
Okay, because I just wanted to like talk to you about it.
Yes. You can after class, if that's okay. And anybody else who wants to talk to me.
Question, Professor.
Mm-hmm.
So for the individual literature review, I only used one, so do I just mention it there?
You submit it. Where
Okay.
your document, yeah, you just submit the document
All
or
right.
cut and paste it in there.
Oh,
And for those who didn't have any, what do we do?
Who didn't have what? An individual lit review?
Yeah, because some of us, our part in our group, our project wasn't to do that.
I mean, for my group, we did a literature review, but it's like a combination of all our articles, and I
That's
already
it?
submitted that.
Okay, that's what you're supposed to do. Um, but we
So if everybody in one group all submit the same lit review, that would still be suffice.
oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, because me and my group, we found all the articles we were going to use, and we just put them in one doc and did the whole literature review just like that.
Same. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
for me,
so
we did.
yeah. So you all do that. That's a good idea. I didn't think of that.
It
Isn't
was
that
much easier for us because that way we can all share our information and we can just use it based on how we wanted to portray it.
okay? Okay.
So do I just submit the whole literature review of all of us?
Yeah.
All right
Okay.
then.
Great. I just text my group that, so hopefully.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
let my group know too.
So am I submitting it for my group or do I send it to them and then like
You
we
send it to them too, so that they
okay.
can. Yeah. I think this is gonna. I mean, on
Have a good one, Professor.
yeah, you all too. So I'm just make sure if you have any questions, you all have my number. If you see that your grade is incorrect, once they are posted, all is not lost. I have no problem correcting my mistakes. I don't know how this is going to turn out because I have a whole lot going on. Actually, my very, 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 very dear cousin, who's like a brother, died over the weekend suddenly.
Sorry for your
So
loss.
yeah, so I'm like I really care very little about this kind of stuff right now.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest. Uh, so if I make some mistakes, just let me know.
What's your number?
323 459 7636. I'll put it in the chat. And I always say that because it's just so much easier for you to get me if you text me or call me.
Professor,
Yes, I put
this
it in
is
the chat.
Vanessa. Vanessa,
Yeah.
I just wanted to say thank you for like putting your time where you're actually making an impact and like putting like your actions towards like aligning with what you're teaching. And also, I was finally able to establish like a connection for the class, but it was too late. My group had already presented. I just wanted to um like acknowledge that I was here the whole session. Sorry.
Okay. I saw you though. I saw you. Yeah, I saw you.
Yeah,
Okay,
she's the
well,
one that made the slides.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much. You all have been a delight. Um, Unfortunately, with so much going on, I don't think that I was able to reach you all in the manner that I would have liked to. But it is what it is. But it's also online, so I'm not going to beat myself up about it. Uh, but again, if there's any way that I can help you all, that you need anything, just let me know. You're welcome.
Yeah, you take care, Thomas.
All
Thank you
right.
for
All right.
everything.
Take care. All right.
Professor, I have a quick question about the lit review.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't think my group actually did one. Like, we listed an article, but I don't think we actually did a lit review. Would we still have to do one?
What was your group?
I think we're group number 1.
Yeah.
You all didn't do a lit review? You didn't do
No, we did not. We just cited one of the articles at the end.
Okay.
Do we have to like make one for the submission then?
No, your presentation was fine. Your presentation was fine. I just have to figure out how to do this.
Okay, so we
Okay.
don't submit one then?
Go ahead and well, just submit something in that area,
Okay.
just so that it's not blank.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, like
Professor.
maybe. Okay, no problem. Anybody else?
Bye, Professor.
Was that a bye? Okay.
Thank you, Professor. Have a good summer.
Okay. Take care. You as well.
Enjoy your time. Bye.
Yeah, you too.
Professor,
Mhm.
we have the same thing as the girl, I forgot her name, that she was in here saying that we didn't do the article review with a person.
Oh yeah. Just put
Oh,
that in. Just put that in where just put that.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
Thank you, Professor.
no problem.
Oh wait, one more thing, Professor.
Hmm.
Um, you know Ricardo that was in here?
Yes.
Technically, I have to say that two people didn't do slides, so it's technically me and Jimmy that did mostly the slides.
Okay, so Ricardo didn't do any slides?
No, Ricardo or I forgot the other guys. Oh, and Kevin.
Okay.
And then most of them are they were saying that how do I say it?
And what group is this again?
Group 2.
Okay.
And they were saying that we were missing solutions and conclusions, and then we were missing the review. And my honestly opinion, I was gonna end up telling them in the Discord chat that you guys could have done that in the presentation instead of if we forgot something, they could have done that. So at least that's what they could have done, mostly.
Right. Well, it makes a lot of sense in terms of how you all were running over because if they didn't prepare the slides, they couldn't really speak about the slides.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to say, but I guess
Yeah.
they didn't do nothing. So it was just me, Jimmy, and that's all. There's
Okay.
nothing. Yes.
So Ricardo and Kevin didn't do anything.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what I needed to know.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, have a good summer, Professor.
You too. You too. You
It was
take care.
nice having you.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
You all as well. You all as well.
Thank you. See
All
you.
right. Take care. All right. Bye-bye.